Welcome to Quarter 1, Week 1, Lesson 1. Human persons as we are, we can commit mistakes and we have our imperfections. And by that, I want you to take a look at this video and try to refresh what really life is all about.
Once upon a time, there was a young, athletic boy, hungry for success, for whom winning was everything. And success was measured just by winning. One day, the boy was preparing himself for a running competition in his small village, himself and two other young boys to compete. A large crowd had gathered to witness the sporting spectacle, and a wise old man, upon hearing of the little boy, had traveled far to bear witness also. The race commenced, looking like a level heat at the finishing line. But sure enough, the boy dug deep and called on his determination, strength, and power. He took the winning line and was first. The crowd was ecstatic and cheered and waved at the boy. The wise man remained still and calm, expressing no sentiment. The little boy, however, felt proud and important. A second race was called, and two new, young, fit challengers came forward to run with the little boy. The race was started, and sure enough, the little boy came through and finished first once again. The crowd was ecstatic again and cheered and waved at the boy. The wise man remained still and calm, again expressing no sentiment. The little boy, however, felt proud and important. Another race, pleaded the little boy. The wise old man stepped forward and presented the little boy with two new challengers, an elderly frail lady and a blind man. "What is this?" quizzed the little boy. "This is no race," he exclaimed. "Race," said the wise man. The race was started, and the boy was the only finisher. The other two challengers left standing at the starting line. The little boy was ecstatic. He raised his arms in delight. The crowd, however, were silent, showing no sentiment toward the little boy. "What has happened? Why not do the people join in my success?" he asked the wise old man. "Race again," replied the wise man. "This time, finish together, all three of you. Finish together," continued the wise man. The little boy thought a little, stood in the middle of the blind man and the frail old lady, and then took the two challengers by the hand. The race began, and the little boy walked slowly, ever so slowly, to the finishing line and crossed it. The crowd were ecstatic and cheered and waved at the boy. The wise man smiled, gently nodding his head. The little boy felt proud and important. "Old man, I understand not. Who are the crowd cheering for? Which one of us three?" asked the little boy. The wise old man looked into the little boy's eyes, placing his hands on the boy's shoulders, and replied softly, "Little boy, for this race you have won much more than in any race you have ever ran before. And for this race, the crowd cheer not for any winner." You see, in life, in your life, what are you running for? Are you hungry for success? Is winning the only measurement for you in your life? Who are you running against? And if you always win against everybody, then soon the people will stop cheering for you. At the end of your life, if you look back, the question is, who was running next to you in this race? If they were weaker and old, did you help them to get across the line? Did you all finish together? Because that is the best race you can ever run. So run Run this race called life. But don't forget, it is not important if you win. It is important how you run this race.
Life is not a race. Do not rush. Take your time. Just like knowing who we are as a human person. We need some time and open heart to internalize the truth about us. So, what does it mean to be human? First, we should acknowledge that we are not the cause of our existence. We did not choose to be born on a specific date or to be part of a particular family. We are God's creation. We have given God a chance to live in His beautiful creation. Thus, we are called a responsible custodians of the earth and of the natural world. So we have this word responsible custodians, meaning we should be a responsible keeper and we should take good care of everything that we have right now. Remember that we cannot exist without the natural world, but the natural world can continue to exist without the human kind. God gave the natural world a set of laws for human persons, the natural law and the law of nature. Natural law explains how God created us human persons. The law of nature is a natural instinct or a natural relation of human beings or other animals due to native character or condition. Unlike other creatures that are born with scales or a tough hide to protect themselves, our bodies as human persons speak for our need for trust, gentleness, and compassion. Human bodies help us relate to the material world, allowing us to perform our work and to fulfill our duties. The human body is animated by our human spirit, making the two inseparable until death. The human body and the human spirit are equal in value since these are two gifts come from God and they form one living human presence. And take note that we are more than our bodies. Next is we are conscious being. So we are born with intellect and free will. Intellect is the ability to use the mind creatively, while free will is the power of acting without any constraint of necessity. These spiritual powers of intellect and free will distinguish the human persons from all other creatures, and we are created by God's image and likeness. And take note that the highest expression of human intellect and free will can be found in our act of love. Next is we are historical realities. Human persons have the ability to influence the history of the world. We could choose to bring ourselves either to a better life or to our destruction. And we influence history because our story is a part of everyone's timeline. Every one of us has our own story. But the best part of it is that the integration of our story and the influence of that to other people. Next is we are relational person. Human persons are born because of significant relationship between a man and a woman. One of the purposes of our human existence is to relate with other persons and most deeply with God. Our being as historical realities cannot be separated from our being as relational persons. So the most important relationship that we could ever have is our relationship with God. Lastly, we are unique though fundamentally equal individuals. So we have this proverb, Mexican proverb, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So this line is somewhat related to when you hear your mother or any guardian saying, "Kiat na jud ka kay kiat imong mga friends," or "Arti na ka kay arti imong mga friends. Dili na ko kinahanglan ingnon nimong kinsa ka kay bawog kog unsa ka because of your friends." But I tell you, we are unique because of the relationship we have. Our influence on others and the influences on us reveal the kind of person we are. Human beings have commonalities and differences. And from God's point of view, revealed through our experiences of the natural law, we are equal in dignity. And that's the end of our discussion.